What's up, Digidestins? This is Kyle D, better known as RideMyAvatar, and today we're going to be talking about Rising Wind again, the deck you're going to be wanting to play at the end of September. Yes, there's only really 3 decks coming into the fold, but to be honest with you, these decks definitely need their ace support before this deck can actually take off. So without further ado, let's dive into the video and talk about it. So, boys and girls, let's talk about it. First off, we do have Gammamon. Gammamon's deck definitely got some great support. The set had a lot of stuff going for it. It had Gauss Gammamon, Wizen Gammamon, Kaus Gammamon, new Beatel Gammamon, Regulus Canos Weissmon, a Canos Weissmon that helps warp. It's not terrible, it's really solid actually. Being able to warp up, especially from a Gammamon up, as long as you met a requirement. Your Gammamon that has a Gammamon in its name and its Digievolution can Digivolve into this card from your hand for a Digicost 3, ignoring its requirements. I think that's pretty solid, don't you? I mean, being able to warp for 3 and then get into your big boss Digimon really does help out, but all turns Digimon gains all effects of cards with Gammamon in its name in its Digievolution cards, and then all turns this Digimon has the inheritable same thing all of its all turn. So being able to copy all your effects, so you could have Blocker, you can have, Gauss Gammamon's Retaliation, you can have a lot of your on deletion skills, you can have Raid for Beatel, you can have Evade just to help keep your Digimon on board. All this stuff adds up eventually, and it makes the deck really solid. The new hero is nothing to scoff at, being able to basically extend plays by tucking something in, gain a memory, draw a card. You get to do a lot of stuff with it, and I'm really excited for it. You also have Gammamon to help you draw if you play a Red Tamer at the right time. Everything just adds up to being what you want to do, but the real end goal is to get into Paroxymon, because all turns when another Digimon is deleted you may play one level 4 Digimon with Gammamon in its name from your trash without paying its memory by placing one Digimon card with Gammamon in its text from your hand, or trash under this Digimon its bottom Digievolution card. Delete one of your opponent's Digimon with DP less than or equal to this Digimon. So, basically setting you up, and that's really solid. I mean, hey, you get to extend out, and then you can have Arcturusmon just keep trashing security for free. You never really have to swing in, because if it's inheritable, you can just use your Seriousmon to blow something up if you get bigger than it. Your endless possibilities is ridiculous. You have a lot of DP boost thresholds. You just basically control the board with Altorius just basically trashing everything, and you don't have to do anything. Basically, they answer Paroxymon. That's kind of the sucky part. There's no built-in protection in this deck where that it'll keep it on the board, except for the evade, but that's about all you have to really worry about, in my opinion. Out of all that, you have a lot of control and board state. I mean, even worst case, you just get a Seriousmon on board, and then you go Gaia Force, answer response. Your opponent, you'll basically get the trash for free. They lose a body if they don't have a protection. So that's really solid in my opinion. The deck has a lot going for it. The new Guri will draw you cards. The new Gamma's a searcher for plus 2000 DP. Also giving you plenty of DP thresholds to just get you up to magic numbers to be able to kill threats. BT8 hero is just there for DP boosting. So everything just adds up quickly. You just trash for free because you're just going to answer response most of your opponent's stuff. So let's see what the next one is. Let's talk about Jellymon. Jellymon definitely, which is weird, because JP never really had this from the start with their Rising Wind. So their Rising Wind was a little bit different because it came out sooner than us, because we had to delay because they weren't going to put the reprint stuff, but everybody bullied, Bandai to put it in there. So that's what happened. So now Jellymon's in, got its wave of support. It definitely got the support it needed in the Thisismon from BT13. Main, if you have Koshiro, by placing one tells Jellymon from your hand as one of your Jellymon bottom Digievolution cards, that Digimon digivolves into this Digicard for Digievolution cost 3, ignoring Digievolution requirements. End of attack by returning 3 cards with Jellymon in its text from your trash to the bottom of your deck in any order. Unsuspend this Digimon. This is where the wombo comboing happens. Basically, you want to unsuspend by returning, the end of attack unsuspend kind of situation. And both of the Thysismon are completely different in what they're going to be doing. You know, this Thysis here, the one from Rising Wind, is when digivolving by trashing 2 cards, blue cards from your hand. For each card trashed by this effect, you may choose one Digievolution card under one of your opponent's Digimon or Tamer, trash it. Then one of your opponent's Digimon and Tamers with no Digievolution cannot be suspended until the end of your opponent's next turn. So it kind of locks them out from being able to attack you. And then, you know, just really solid at being able to lock stuff out. And then you have, you know, Tesla Jelly, that is when attacking, draw a card, and then when attacking, trash the bottom Digievolution of one of your opponent's Digimon. So basically stripping sources just so that when you do Amphiamon's effect, when digivolving when attacking, you may trash 2 blue cards from your hand. For each card trashed by the effect, choose one Digievolution card under one of your opponent's Digimon or Tamers and trash it. Then you may return one of your opponent's Digimon with no Digievolution cards to the bottom of its owner's deck. All turns when one of your blue Digimon in play would be deleted by returning 3 cards with Jellymon in its text to the trash to the bottom of your deck. Prevent it from deletion. So it does have a deletion protection, and then I do think it has end of attack with this Amphiamon. Definitely comes out once the Ace comes out. It's just not that good. I mean, we also have Startling Lightning. So returning one of your level 4 or lower Digimon to its owner's hand. Then if you have a Digimon with Jellymon in its name or with Jellymon in its Digievolution card, return one of your opponent's Tamers to its owner's hand. Being able to remove a Tamer and a threat off the board is pretty solid. It sets them back by a lot. You know, they also do have BT13 with Evade. So when attacking the bottom Digievolution card of one of your opponent's Digimon, you know, being able to trash stuff, it does lead up nicely. But at the end of the day, you're going to be... This one is just so if you had to hard play it and you needed a turn to keep it alive, it's very useful. Definitely you want to play Wanyamon because Wanyamon is basically one of the best draw Digitamas, and this deck definitely needs pieces, so it's going to want to draw as soon as possible. New Koshiro, basically, old BT9 Koshiro is basically if you have 7 or fewer cards in your hand, spend this Tamer, draw a card. You know, attacks when you attack with a Digimon that has Jellymon or a level 5 or higher, you get to draw a card if you're 7 or less. This Koshiro, your turn, basically gives your Jellymon jamming so that you don't have to worry about it dying into security. And then the Rising Winds Koshiro is basically nutty as heck. So all turns when your Digimon with Jellymon in its text or your opponent's level 5 or higher attacks, if you have 7 or less cards, by suspending this Tamer, draw a card. When this Tamer becomes unsuspended, gain a memory. Helps extend your plays. Basically, on your opponent's turn, you could force, you know, draw a bunch of cards until you're at 8. And then, boom, you know, you're going to be trashing cards, cycling them back in. The deck just has constant flow with each other. It's actually surprising. The Tamer revitalizes what you lose, while the Jellymon's payoffs are the cards you discard to get back in. Just pay off your effects and keeps you a very sticky body. And I think one Blitz Omni just to close out games because this deck has some closing out game issues that it definitely needs to be addressed. So being able to get that final swing with Blitz Omni, not a bad trade-off in my opinion. So then we have Angoramon or Dorabimon deck. Dorabi is very interesting. It's basically the anime counterpart because end of your turn, one of your Digimon in play with Angoramon in its text can attack one of your opponent's Digimon in play. So basically what you're trying to do is multi-attack with like a Shadow Clone Jutsu kind of thing. So when Digivolving, suspend two of your opponent's Digimon, and then all turns when one of your Digimon deletes a opponent's Digimon in battle. If this Digimon has Angoramon in its Digievolution, unsuspend one of your Digimon. So it just lets you multi-attack because the end of your turn, one of your Digimon with Angoramon in its text can attack your opponent's Digimon in play. Just allows you to multi-attack and gets a little ridiculous pretty quickly. They did get the support like Lamortmon from BT13. So main, if you have Ruli, by placing, you know, it's a Warper, you just need Saber Angoramon in your hand under one of your Angoras, and you basically get to Warp for 3. And then your turn, when this Digimon deletes an opponent's Digimon by battle, trash the top card of your opponent's security stack. Removing security is really good. And the same thing with this one. They kind of carbon copy 2 of the Ultimates inheritables, which is really good because you want that inheritable being able to... Basically, if you're focusing on killing your opponent's Digimon, you want that extra remove security for free kind of situation. And then when Digivolving, this Digimon gains piercing for the turn. Then if this Digimon has a Digievolution card with Angoramon in its name, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. So basically it sets up and gets you ready from the... This is the Rising Winds card. Then we do have Ponyo Dump. So one of your Digimon gains piercing for the turn. Then if you have a Digimon in play with Angora in his name or with Angoramon in his Digievolution, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. So not a bad trade-off. Get the small guys or big guys rested so you can get swing in with your Durabis. I think that's not terrible at the end of the day. You know, you got Angoramon with the draw when they become suspended. You know, you also gain memory. You know, if your opponent has no Digimon unsuspended in play, this Digimon gets plus 1000 DP. This one is plus 1000 DP, and it's a blocker. This one is, if you have a Ruli in play, gain a memory. Then you do have Angoramon gaining that 1000 DP from Rising Wind. Then you have Saber gaining the memory. Then you also have, you know, Saber Angora while your opponent has no unsuspended Digimon get plus 1000 DP, and it's a jammer. And then we do have the Saber Angoramon that is going to basically play your Ruli for free. And then all turns, if your opponent has no unsuspended Digimon, gain that 1000 DP boost. We do have this last Lormort, basically just in here before Tribal. You can definitely take it out and play this one at a full play set. I think these guys are better than this one at the end of the day, but it does have a, you know, when this Digimon deletes an opponent's Digimon in battle, unsuspend this Digimon. It does help a little bit, but it does have that. If you don't have a Tamer play, lose 2 memory. That's just a terrible drawback. And then Ruli from BT10, basically your mem setter, but also gives, you know, forces a suspending. By suspending this Tamer, suspend one of your opponent's 5000 DP or less. Then you have Ruli from the promo, so when attacking, it gives an Angoramon in its Digievolution basically plus 3000 DP. That's really useful. And then you have Ruli here, so when your Digimon would Digivolve into a green beast or animal for Sovereign in one of his traits other than sea animal, by suspending this Tamer, reduce the Digievolution cost by 1. End of turn, you may unsuspend one of your Digimon with an Angoramon in its text, basically making your Durabimons restand so they're out of your opponent's harm way if they have a way of countering and being able to swing into your Digimon after you've cleared the board. So all in all, the deck has a lot of potential. There's nothing wrong with this deck, and the decks just need that ace support, I think, just to be a little bit better. I think the problem comes down to is the ability of not closing out games, but we're definitely going to have to see what happens. People are going to play what they want. Maybe these decks, when Rising Wind comes through with Ultimate Cups, actually do a little bit better because they are very much easily their color. The only one that would have trouble is going to be Gammamon, because Gammamon doesn't have enough red pieces. So definitely I think maybe the Durabi Angoramon deck and Jellymon deck actually have a little bit better legs to stand on in an Ultimate Cup format than they do in regular competitive. I just think there's a lot more powerful decks than this, but in a monocolor situation, might change things up. So guys, I know there's also that one last deck we can talk about, but to be honest with you, I really don't know how to make it function without it just being a pile of junk. And to be honest with you, I don't want you guys feeling like you need it. The SB and Hoover SB are just going straight into the Machine Dramon deck, but Shin Mumse, and Nome definitely don't have much to stand on. I'm going to be straight with you. It has potential, but the Numamon deck is not complete yet. Definitely needs the Edamon support from EX05 to probably do even more crazy shenanigans. But definitely needs more waves of support. The deck has potential, but it's going to be probably the cheapest super rare if you pull it, to be honest with you. So definitely don't be surprised that I didn't really talk about that kind of situation. Mugen just gaining Hoovermon is fine. It doesn't change up the list. It just changes up a 4 slot. So that's why we're not going too crazy into Mugen. But all in all, guys, hopefully you enjoyed the video. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll catch you next one. Peace!